Whoa!
I got no idea what I'm doing.
That was awesome, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just trying to do something where I'm getting more comfortable, not just like just moving around the kit. So I was just kind of doing
Well,
weird things.
well, okay. No, literally all of that was awesome. I would have stopped you somewhere in there if I felt like I needed to share something, but I didn't. I literally was just listening and enjoying what I was hearing.
It's not boring to you though.
No, not at all. Well, okay, we have a lot to talk about with what you were just doing there. So,
Oh,
what?
okay.
Tell me about the foot. The foot was really anchoring that whole thing.
Yeah, I wanted to keep the foot like I'm like, how can I glue it together and keep me? I don't know how to describe
No,
it.
no, yeah,
Not sure the terminology, but I wanted something to anchor me in time. So I was like, okay, if I can keep the foot going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just moving around the kit and doing things in out of time. I mean, like trying like one triplet, like on the one
right.
triplet, and then moving and just doing little.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you is rhythmically all of those little choices you were making were fantastic.
Okay.
And they were perfect. And they some of them were triplets and some of them were not.
Right.
You were not able to do that a month ago. You were not doing stuff like that a month ago.
I wasn't doing that 2 weeks ago.
Right.
This is new. I just started this about a week ago.
Yeah.
About a week ago, and I haven't incorporated toms. I guess I could do the same thing with toms.
Correct.
I was just kind of doing it on my. I got these like sensitive rims.
Yeah, they sound awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what I was
so
doing.
you were anchoring it with those bass notes. How would you count those bass notes? Are those quarter notes?
Quarter notes, yeah.
Okay.
2, 3, 4.
Okay. So now I want you to do it again. Really watch the tempo. Don't let it get too fast.
Okay.
Keep going, but then I am going to stop you and I'm going to ask you to repeat something that you did.
Just
Go.
do what I was doing.
Do what you were doing and I'll stop you. Right there. What are you going for? Da-da-da-da?
Yeah.
Okay, do it again.
So I was going.
Okay, what kind of notes are those?
I'm counting as one triplet.
Yeah, exactly. One triplet, two. So hit that two. One triplet, two. Do it again.
So one triplet, 2. Wait. One triplet, 2.
Sure, exactly, with the quarter notes.
Is that right?
Keep doing it. There it is. Good. Keep it on one drum. Good. Now, okay, now do it again, but do one triplet, 2, 3 triplet, 4. Da 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 da. Now wait a minute.
I like that.
There. Now, so yeah, they're all cool. So do me a favor. I do want to hear you counting one of those out loud.
So you want one triplet, 2.
One triplet, 2. Yeah, one triplet, 2. It's fast.
Okay, so one triplet, 2. One triplet, 2.
Okay, pause. Here are your syllables. One, trip, as in, oh shit, I tripped, right?
Yep. One trip,
Let.
one triplet.
Those are your 3 syllables. One triplet, and now you're back to 2. One triplet, 2 triplet.
Okay, so one triplet, 2 triplet.
Well, now wait a minute. Sorry. That's the triplet. But if you're gonna hit that quarter note after, it has to be one triplet, 2. So then it actually feels like a group of 4 notes.
One triplet.
Yeah, do one triplet, 2.
Okay. One triplet, 2.
Yeah.
Throws me off now. One triplet. This counter, so 1 triplet 2.
Yeah, 1 triplet 2. You'll feel it.
1 triplet 2. Oh, I like that. 1 triplet 2. 1 triplet 2. 1 triplet 2.
Count those other quarter notes.
Triplet 2. What do you mean?
So 1 triplet 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hitting this symbol. Alright. 1 triplet 2, 3, 4. 2 triplet 3, 4. 2 triplet 3. That messes me up now.
That was interesting. No, real quick. You can just go back to 1. 1 triplet 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet 2, 3, 4.
1 triplet 2.
Yeah, 1 triplet 2.
1 triplet 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet 2.
Ah, okay. So it's just a little bit of a tongue twister right now, right?
Triplet 2. Yeah.
Yeah, but you'll get it. Okay, now real quick.
Triplets. I'm saying triplet. That's the problem.
Right. Okay, so let's do this. Turn to 14 and 15 in the book, please.
I don't have my book.
Ah!
You can yell at me. I haven't.
I can?
know. No, I haven't ringed out when we were supposed to pick it up Tuesday. I haven't been able to get it right. Remember, I was getting the rings put in?
Yeah.
It's done. So it's all done. But if you put it up on the board or tell me what to do, I will do it. So
Okay.
I do apologize. We just haven't got around to picking them up. We're getting them this evening when Terry's car gets back.
No, that's all right. Okay.
They're done. They're done, and I promise next week you will see them all ringed up, and I'm excited.
Nice.
I got both of them done at the same time. They're like, "Do you want them together?" I'm like, that was a good question." I'm like, "No, I'll get them separate."
Okay.
So yeah, if you just show me, then I can. But I have been practicing all week, which I've been lost within my book. But I have been doing what I remember, like
Okay.
and then or like doing the 1, 2.
No, of course. You've had lots of stuff going on. It's been great.
Yeah, I just feel bad. I was like, he's gonna ask for that book, Terry. I
Nah.
know it.
No, okay, so I'll show it to you. Can you see this?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Terry, can you move my picture up? My little thing in the corner. Yep. All right, perfect. Terry got it.
Mouse is. Where did the mouse?
I don't know where it is. It not moving? Oh, there you go. Just lift that up. Perfect. Now I can. Yep, 4. Got it.
Okay, so I'm going to divide this quarter note into 3.
Okay.
Okay? So imagine like a huge slice of pizza and you and your buddies decide to split it in 3 ways.
Okay.
So you cut in 3. So I took that big quarter note and I cut it into 3 chunks. Those are your triplets.
Yep.
So let me just quickly fill those out. So those are the triplets.
Yep.
This is your quarter note that was there before. Let me undo what I just did.
Yep.
Here's a snare on the 1.
Yep.
I'll write it in too. Oops.
That's a neat program that you have.
Oh, I love it so much. Sorry, I should be sitting up straight for this. So 2, 3, 4, right?
Yep.
These are your quarter notes. And for you, this sounds the same as if it just said play 1, 2, 3, 4. I just decided to divide this into 3s, but I had you rest those other triplets. 1 triplet. You see it?
Yes. So
Any-
1 triplet, and then you just go 3, 2, 3, 4.
Right. So let's actually count what you see in front of you here for a second. This is 1 triplet, 2, 3, 4.
So 1 triplet, 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2,
Good.
3, 4.
Try to make it smoother. 1 triplet, 2. Like they can all kind of swing off of each other. 1 triplet, 2.
1 triplet, 2,
Exactly.
3, 4. 1 triplet, 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4. Is that right?
Yeah, 100%.
1 triplet, 2.
See how it rolls? 1 triplet, 2. It's very smooth once you get into doing it, and it's like it's a kind of just a separate tool that you're using because you have to develop your lips' ability to say the words, right? So it's another skill you're developing, but it's very helpful because you're listening to music and you're jamming out and you go, oh man, what did I just hear? What did he do? You rewind it and you hear him going da da ba da da da, and you're like 1 triplet 2. You know what I mean? It'll just happen naturally. You'll just be able to like lock into it. You can figure out anything you're listening to.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because I got that habit of going triplet. I got an ah in there, and consciously aware of it, but it's hard to break that, man. I wish I didn't have that.
Yeah. No, you'll break it. You'll break it now.
One triplet. I gotta remember it's one triplet.
And here's why. You always want to keep track of the quarter note.
Yes.
One triplet 2 kind of gives me like a map to sort of keep track of where I'm at. I'm on the 2 now. One triplet 2. Now I'm on the 2. You know what I mean? Usually there's a snare that goes here. Like, you know all the stuff about what's going on the 2. And then the 3, and then the 4. You always want to reference your quarter note. You always want to keep track of it. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's getting complicated.
So now, no, there's only a few notes. You're good. Okay, so I'm going to fill these in now like I did before. Now this is line 1 of the page in syncopation with the triplets. So when you get the book, this is going to be your homework, and it's going to be a whole bunch of these combinations. This is literally the first line. And then obviously it's got the kicks underneath it.
Now,
All right.
do you want? I guess you're gonna probably say whatever I prefer, or all of it. But can I do it on the rim like I was doing? Does it matter?
Okay. There's 2 things you're going to do. How I teach. One is you're going to free jam the hell out of this. And you're going to do it on all those drums, and you're going to make every possible sound you can make with your drum set.
Okay.
Using these kind of triplet combinations.
Okay.
And then the other thing is I want you to do it on the snare, alternating your sticks with the kick drum.
Wow.
And those are 2 very different things.
I was just gonna say I've never even tried. Like I've only ever been using the rims for the last week.
Okay.
Little noises. I haven't done any on toms.
Okay, so do what you see here. This is the snare and the kick. It's exactly what you were just doing. And just as long as you're counting it right, let's see what happens. Snare and kick.
Okay, I gotta get this warmed up. This is like my. Okay, so just for now. So this is so much weirder to me.
You're good.
1 triplet, 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet.
Ah, there you go.
It's just really weird. To
1
me.
triplet 2.
Yeah.
Just remember.
1 triplet, 2, 3. Now I'm counting with the bass and not doing anything else. 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2. Wow, that's not easy. Okay. So, 1 triplet, 2, 3, 4. 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 1 triplet, 2. It's tough.
Okay, so real quick.
Yes.
Which hand are you starting with?
Right.
The right hand. Are you noticing that the left hand is ending that group of notes? Right, left, right, left. 1 triplet 2.
Triplet 2. Okay, I didn't know. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, right, left, left. Now who's in charge? Now the left hand's in
Right.
charge.
So so it'd be 1 triplet 2.
Yeah, power that left.
1 triplet, and then back to the okay. So okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'll try it. So it's just so much different than up here. That's wild to me. 1 triplet 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet 2.
Yeah.
4.
Good. Nice. Now,
Awesome.
now, what did we do? We connected the right foot to the left hand,
Yes.
right? Okay, that connection is very important. All the different connections between the different limbs and the times that they happen to hit together or alternate from each other, you have to really have that locked in. You're not hitting that left hand, right foot on the 2 by accident. Right, left, and it just kind of like you hope it happens. No, you make it happen. It's just like, this is the example I always give. It's just like giving somebody a high five. Or a double high five. When you're giving somebody a double high five, you're not thinking about the right hand and the left hand separately. You're doing one movement.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
And nobody does double high fives anymore, but in the movies in the 80s, a lot of double high fiving going on, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's just one fluid motion. Okay, so too should it be one fluid motion when your left hand and your right foot are hitting at the same time. Bam! Or then vice versa. Left foot, right hand, which is also going to happen. Both hands
Okay.
together, that one's obvious. Both feet together, that one's not so obvious.
Right,
Those are two
yes.
limbs too that should be hitting together at the same time sometimes.
So that's how you're keeping your count. Is see the way I did it when I first started messing with the rims is I was like I need an anchor as I'm counting as I'm doing my quarter note fours, like going like that. I was like I'm just gonna start it on the one, and then I can do like a little ding 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 ding,
Yeah.
and then keep that count going. But I made sure I did it on the one or on a downbeat. Like
Perfect.
on the one or a three or whatever, but it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't random. It was like I knew that that anchor had to be there.
Yes, and now you're just connecting the hand to it. It's not just an anchor musically on the paper. It's an anchor for your body. Those two limbs hitting together at the same time is an anchor for your body playing the drums.
Okay.
It feels good to do two hands at the same time for a reason. It should feel good to do left foot, right hand at the same time too. It should
Right.
feel as good or better maybe, right? So
Okay.
so yeah, good. Now you've got lots of anchor points. The whole reason why you just blew my mind earlier with that little solo you did was because you were continuing to reference the quarter note. Everything you were doing it keeping in mind that like, hey, I've got this steady thing going on here and I have to always be in line with it.
Mhm.
Well, that sounds like the best damn drummer in the world to me because it means that what you care about the most is the tempo and the steadiness and that pulse.
Yes.
Okay, that's your whole job. That's what guitar players need from you is to keep that, you're the metronome, keep that steady pulse. And if you can play around in there, if you can do a couple cool fills here and there, then go for it. But
Just keep that count.
keep
Just
that
so
steadiness, keep those quarter notes, keep that pulse, keep that metronomic consistency so I can do my solo.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense. Like that's what I keep. I want to build a strong foundation because I'm okay. Maybe I will never be the fanciest drummer in the world, but I mean, if I can't, my thought is if I can't even keep the band together and keep them tight, then I'm not even a good. Why would I drum? Like if I can play fancy and blah 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 all over the kit, but no band can play with me because they're like, what is he doing?
Right.
I'd rather be a simple drummer and keep it. That's a lot of the drummers I like are just groove drummers. They
Yeah.
just keep the pocket so tight.
Okay.
I love that.
That's the word I was about to use was pocket. So that's like a very popular term we use is just like just being in the pocket and just
Okay.
sitting in the pocket. And you can groove around in the pocket. Pocket being like, basically your money beat, whatever the tempo is, and keeping it really locked in.
Okay.
And you can play around in there, but the more you start to go around the kit and do more fills and more fancy stuff, the closer you are to the danger of like getting out of time and it falling out of your pocket.
And that's bad.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're gonna be, do you plan on doing shows eventually? Like, you trying to like eventually get in a band and get out there and do some gigs?
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so I do have to ask you then, because that's exactly the kind of drummer that everybody's gonna want you to be. So that's awesome. Everybody's gonna love you. Guitar players are very tricky to please. They need that steady tempo. Their little brains, like, you know what I mean? They can't handle anything other than just like a really good steady tempo.
Okay.
I like making fun of guitar players.
Well, they make fun of us, so
Yeah, exactly. It goes around, comes around. So
that's right. We gotta
so-
rib each other.
if you are planning on getting out there and doing shows, my question for you immediately is, what are your prospects? Like, do you have people that you want to jam with or that you've been jamming with? Or you told me the other day that you jammed, right?
Yeah. I got a couple of friends that are jamming. Terry's learning guitar, like he's playing guitar, like rhythm. And then my friend Dean that comes over, he's learning keyboard. He's just got a new keyboard, and he's really good at composing music. He used to be hip hop. He used to do a lot of hip hop and recording in the hip hop genre.
Heck yeah.
So that's why we were messing around when I mentioned you and I said I was playing Boots and Cats.
Yeah.
I was all excited because that's what he had me playing, and he was just freestyle hip hop rapping, and that was really cool. And he's learning keyboard, and he knows rhythm guitar. I don't know any lead guitarists yet or bassists, but
Okay.
I want to at least get synced up drumming really well, as good as I can before I bring other people in.
Has anybody commented on your tempo and your steadiness?
Yeah, Dean does. Yeah, he's like he said you're really steady. Like
Good.
he's like, and I need that. He said that's important. That keeping it in that pocket.
Perfect. Okay.
So that's what I'm happy with, and I mean I'm not looking to be on like a huge stage in like anytime soon, but that's down the road. I would like to even just do one concert someday or one couple songs.
Oh, of course. I mean, there's nothing stopping us from doing that. You know, especially the couple songs part. I mean, you have an electronic kit, so you could plug that into a computer, record it through MIDI or however it's done, and record whatever drums you want. So you could write a song, record it through those drums, and have somebody pull it up on a computer and then record guitar tracks and everything over it, and you didn't even have to leave the house.
Yeah, that's what this keyboard. He's got this amazing keyboard coming. It's got all of that, and like all that stuff you can edit with and all of this great stuff. So I'm really excited about that. See what we can do. We were just kind of that when I messaged you, like I said, that text you about the Boots and Cats thing. We worked on like half a song, and it worked for like I told you for like 30 seconds.
Right.
It was I can't describe the feeling, but it just all blended together, and you could feel it. Like I was like, I feel, is that weird? I feel that. He's like, no, that means it's working.
Yeah, that's not weird at all. That's great.
And then it all went to hell. But anyways, it was 30 seconds of awesome.
No, I mean, but you just described it perfectly. I mean, that's so many different free jams with different people. And man, that's like the good stuff because you're going to jam with people. I was in a metal band once where we were auditioning like guitar players. And this one dude came in and he immediately pulls out his guitar, gorgeous guitar. He starts shredding a Metallica riff. So we all jammed the Metallica song, whatever it was, Master of Puppets or whatever it was. So we jammed like most of the song or whatever. We probably didn't play the whole song. We jammed it. And then we're like, oh, man, that was cool. All right, so here's one of our songs. And we play some of it. And he's like, oh, that's cool. Cool, man, cool. Yeah. And we're like, yeah, what do you think? And he's like, yeah, that's great. And then he starts playing another Metallica riff, a different song, Sad But True or whatever.
Hey, good song.
And
I think I know where you're going.
Yeah, of course you know where I'm going. So it's like right out of the gate, it's like we thought we brought you in to be our guitar player for our band. You know that that's the case. I don't care how many Metallica riffs you know. Don't talk to me about Metallica. And he was shredding, and it sounded great. And it was like, and then we did kind of try to nudge him, like, here's how to learn this riff. And he was having trouble learning it and understanding it. Now, that part doesn't matter so much. Maybe eventually down the road maybe he needs time to go learn it. But he wasn't even interested in learning it. He just wanted to, like, go play Metallica.
Oh, wow. Well, then join a Metallica cover band.
Join a Metallica, exactly. So
there you go.
If you're hanging out with friends and you're jamming and it sounds good, you already reached the peak of how fun it is to play this instrument. That's what it's all about.
I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. And that's the thing about Boots and Cats. I've heard, that's the one thing that annoys me is I can't see anybody that agrees on this. Boots and Cats, the one that I learned, there's two versions I've heard, and maybe they're both right. I don't know. But the first one I saw was that is the kick, and so I'll just play it.
Play 'em.
So the first one I heard was, that was the first one. Kick on.
Yep,
and then,
that's the money beat.
Okay, so that was, so it was just one. So it was the kick on one and then a snare on three. So one, like that.
Yeah.
And then but what I learned was that you only play the hi-hat on the and.
Correct.
So I was going.
Very nice.
And then I was adding in two. I just learned this. I was going, which is harder. So I was just messing around. I don't know what I can do with that, but I was just messing around.
That was awesome. Those were triplets.
Yeah.
Boom, stats, one triplet, two triplet. I'll write that one out for you.
Okay. And so the first one is not necessarily correct, right? It's the other one I was playing. Where it's the
Well, no, you're right that you were right that they were both correct. I mean, they're the same beat. It's just whether or not you're putting a hi-hat on the kick and the snare. But that's not the most crucial part of that of the money beat. The most crucial part of that is the bass snare, and then the hi-hats filling in the spaces. So both are exactly correct. Boots and Cats.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And I told you the only reason I learned it is because I had cats in my title. I love cats.
Now,
so I'm like, I gotta learn it.
Now, do me a favor. You were doing those ands, right, on the hi-hat, all the ands?
Yeah, I was just going.
So first thing, I like that you said it that way. You said hi-hat on the ands because it means you're speaking to me in the language of music, right?
I'm trying.
Hell yeah. So now here's my other thing I was gonna say. Where's your ride? I want to hear the ride bell.
Okay, I don't have really a bell.
Okay, but make sure to hit the real top. Yeah. Up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Do boots and cats on the ride bell.
God, it feels weird already. I like that.
Faster.
I've
Woo!
I've never went that fast before.
Left foot, left heel up. Left toes down, left heel up.
Okay.
Give yourself another anchor.
Okay. I've never done this fast, so I've got to speed it up here. So that's
Start slow, then speed it up.
okay. Yeah. I was doing it. It's a feel. It's not a count to me. It's a feel.
Yep.
So, I get it. I get it. There we go.
Heck yeah.
Whew. It sounds easy, guys. I don't know. For me, that remembering to do it on the end is a tricky. It was tricky for me to figure even that far out. Like,
No, you did great, dude.
that's awesome. I like that beat. Is that like a disco beat or something?
Wow, I can look that up in my book.
I'm just trying to find like an ABBA beat or something. That's what it feels like to
Sure.
me. Like. And then interesting.
Okay, now do me a favor, just for funsies here, slow it down.
Yep.
And then try to transition into like a standard money beat on the hi-hat.
Oh, just a normal like money beat. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Woo! Oh, you pretty much had it, dude. You get the points for that.
You scared
Oh,
me.
sorry.
I was like, oh. Okay, I'll try it again.
Very nice. Very impressive, dude.
I love that.
Did it help having the left heel up as your anchor?
Oh my God, yeah.
If you're not using that, and that, I'm
Yeah.
glad we're recording and live streaming this, so anybody
Yes,
who
well-
hears this will remember, you need an anchor at all times.
Yep.
If you're playing like a lot of bass drum stuff, your hi-hat foot's your anchor. If you're playing a lot of hi-hat foot stuff, your bass foot's the anchor. If you're doing a lot of stuff with both feet at the same time, no matter how complex it is, both feet have to work together to keep the balance. Your posture has to be perfect, and you have to be in a position where those feet can move and your whole body's not going to fall forward.
Yep.
Now, in your case, I'm guessing that that's going to be a little extra hard, right? That's going to be
Yeah.
that's going to
Yeah.
be more difficult.
Don't look at my posture, guys.
Right.
I mean, I'm working at a negative, but it's showing that it can be done. I just have to work around things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really impressed with your control. I'm really impressed with your
Thank you.
control.
Thank you so much. I work so hard. I'm at this like 3 hours a night. I don't know if it shows, but I'm
It
always
absolutely shows.
okay. I'm always on the kit, and my friends now. I don't know if this happens to you, but my friends come over and they're like, "Please, no more drum talk. I can't take anymore."
Nice.
Because I just babble about it. I'm like, dude, like, check out this beat. And then the only one that puts up with me is Terry. I got to be honest. He's the only one that
Okay,
is
good.
right into it with me. And I want him to drum. He has to get an E-kit.
What about the wife? Is she cool about it?
She loves it. She's
Nice.
actually, when I play, she'll be like, "Was that you down there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I was." Yeah. And she's like, "Wow, like you're getting good." Like, so she's not yelling at me, which is good.
Yeah. She was like,
I'm making,
"Was that you down there?" Yeah.
yeah, that was me. And she's like, "You're getting a lot better." So I'm like, "That's great." But that was a neat transition. I didn't even think I could be able to do that.
You
From losing
crushed it. You
Okay, is
crushed
that-
it.
Is that tough?
Yes, it's very tough. You crushed it.
Okay.
Why is it tough? Tell me why you think I think it's tough.
because it's a totally different. I don't know how to word it. It's a totally different beat. It's you're doing it's totally different because on the money beat you're keeping so it's one and two and that's like so you're keeping a steady count, and on this one you're only using the ride on the end. So to me, it's so different from the money beat.
So
I'm not describing it right, but my brain I know it like it feels so different when you do it.
Okay, so it definitely feels different because you're moving over to the other side of the kit, right? So you have to move back and forth.
Yeah.
So that's tricky about it. But think about this: it's just kicks and snares alternating, and really it's just that one hand that's moving over, and then it's moving over from doing 8 eighth notes to 4 eighth notes, or actually really they're like quarter notes almost, and they're just on every and, right? So it's really not, that hand is really not doing anything all that crazy. The reason why what you did is impressive is because you didn't lose track of the one. Your timing was perfect. You hit the final eighth note on the and of 4, and then you hit the kick by itself, and then immediately transitions perfectly into the and of 1 on the ride bell. That is not easy to do. That transition is, you had it perfect. It's because again, it's not, you're not doing that much. If I'm going from like crazy 30-second notes on my floor tom to eighth note triplets or half notes on the ride on the other side of the drum set, that's a really weird transition, right? Not only spatially but musically. You're not really doing that. It's not really that big of a deal. It's that transition that's really strange, and you just passed right through it.
Yeah, you're right too. Because the only thing I'm really doing from the transition is I'm just adding 4 more on the hi hat.
Yeah, so exactly. Another way to think about it. Yes.
Just 4 more notes, and then I just subtract 4 over here, 4 more.
Not that physically on the drum set, not that big a deal.
No,
right? But if I ask I'll maybe even try to do this. I'll pick a few students for the next week between today and next week, and I'll ask them to play that beat. No matter their skill level, I won't even say anything. I'll just write the beat and ask them to play it, and I'll come back to you and I'll let you know who got it and who didn't. And I already know which drummers are skilled enough to play it no problem, who are going to make that mistake when they go to play it. They're accidentally going to hit the 1 on this ride on this bass note.
Okay, that makes
instead
sense.
of transitioning into a bass by itself. Right?
It just came natural. I don't. Maybe it's because I practice both so much. I've been doing Boots and Cats for a week. So maybe that's what I don't.
It's definitely that. The more practice, man. Okay, so real quick, you mentioned something before, and I got to give you props here. You said that maybe it was disco. Yeah, I had it here. Maybe it flipped away, but it was a disco beat. I found it in my massive textbook here. Yeah, because I'm not a disco guy. Like that doesn't ring a bell.
Well, yeah, I grew up. My wife listens to ABBA, and I'm trying to figure out the drum and the Bee Gees.
Okay.
She listens to a couple of their songs, and I'm listening. Now I hear everything drums.
Yes.
Like everything, I hone right in on the drums, and I can't figure out what they're doing for like these songs. And I'm sure there's a lot of overdubbing and all this added stuff. So I'm trying to get to the core of it. But it's not a money beat. I know that. So it's got to be something else.
Can you give me a song as an example, and I'll listen to it? And I'll try not to get us kicked off YouTube.
Well,
you said ABBA, right?
ABBA. I'm gonna pick something that's got a money beat. Watch. I don't know, like Waterloo. How's that?
ABBA Waterloo.
And it's probably gonna watch. You're gonna say that's a money beat, and it's gonna be the one that I picked. That has the money beat, I bet. But it's like really a neat beat. Some of these songs, I'm just like, what are they doing? And I think maybe it's Boots and Cats or a form of it. Because I heard that there was a thing called Boots and Cats, and I don't know what that is yet. I'm still. I think it's just.
So hold on 1 second, 'cause I'm listening to it right now.
Okay, go ahead. Sip of tea.
So to keep my answer simple on what you're hearing, it is a variation of the Boots and Cats. I mean, I call it the money beat. And I call a lot of different things the money beat in terms of like it is the root beat that you can use to then express a bunch of different musical patterns. So like you have a standard jazz money beat, which is like your standard swing beat.
And that's a triplet, right?
That's a triplet. Good. So So yeah, I mean there's different variations. Now this is in this case that ABBA beat, they're all in swing. Boom ba da da dum ba da da dum ba da 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 ba go. That's swing. Doom da ba.
What's a swing beat? I never even
Ah,
heard of
well,
that.
let's talk about. We got 10 minutes here. We're gonna use them. I just need you to understand what swing itself is, and then everything else
perfect.
will make perfect sense.
Okay.
And first, I'm gonna play it because you're a feel guy. So I'm just gonna play it.
A swing beat.
This is
okay.
your swing. I'm gonna do it on the ride too. That's where I want you to do it. Do that for me on the ride.
So I kind of heard you. Dun, 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 dun. No?
Yep, keep going. There it is. Now, real quick, I'm going to count it, and actually, you can still see my screen here. So let me zoom
Yes.
in real quick.
Yep.
Check this out. I'm going to make a quick change to this.
'Cause that's what I heard. Is I heard you go 1. So 1, 1, 2, 1.
So check it out. Check it out. If I'm going to write it, I'm going to write it like this. 1, 2, let 3. Let me take all this other stuff out so you're just looking at what we call swing.
1, 2, let.
Yeah, so there's that little space there. This rest here is very important. That space, if you make sure to keep that space wide, then this is going to feel very swingy. Bum, ba, ba, dum. Where must it go? Ba, 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 da.
So if I read it that way, with the space, I would go.
That was too much space. So count it out. Count it out. 1,
1,
2, trip, let 3, 4.
1, 2, triplet, 3, 4.
Hold on.
1,
Careful.
2, triplet, 3. That's just.
Well, hold on. Ignore this for a second. Let's try to feel it again before we talk about this.
Okay.
But I will count it while I'm doing it, so you have a count for it. 1, 2, let 3, 4, let 1, 2, let 3, 4, let 1, 2, let 3, 4, let 1, like that.
Let 1, 2, 3, 4. Let 1, 2, 3, 4. Let 1, 2, 3, 4. Let 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ah, good. Now let's add one. That was perfect. Let's add another one. 1, 2, let 3, 4. Let 1, 2, let 3. So let 3 and also let 1.
Oh my god. Let 1, 2. I let 1, 2. I can't even count it, dude.
You're okay. Keep going. I like that. Let 1.
The way I
2,
would
let
do it, which I know is not right, but let 1, 2, 3, 4. Let 1, 2. I'm missing a let somewhere.
let 3.
1. Let 1, 2. Let 3, 4. 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 Right?
Exactly right. Now.
That was awesome. That was
Exactly
awesome.
right. And I really want you, because you're a feel guy as well as a great reader too, so you've got both components, really feel this one. You really got to feel the swing. If you can really absorb like how to immediately just start playing in swing, how to immediately just lock into that feel, right? You're going to be able to do a lot. It's not just about being able to play swing and play in triplet feel. You have to be able to jump into it and have it be smooth. You have to be able to transition in and out of stuff that is played in triplets.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's a feel, right? Like I was
Big
thinking of
time.
a heartbeat and stuff like that, and that's how
Sure.
my brain I'm like, okay, it's got to be a feel, and that's what I'm trying to learn, teach.
So do this. Let's move this over to the ride.
Let 1, 2, let 3, 4, let 1, 2, let 3, 4. If I rock it, it feels kind of better. That is the count, right? Let 1, 2, let 3, 4. Let 1, 2,
Correct.
let 3, 4. Okay. I can work on that all week.
Now check this out. I'm gonna you can still see this, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna do a little rewrite here to clean it up. I'm trying to.
I gotta get so Terry can listen to us next week.
Right.
he'd be listening to so much. I think I can have it over my monitor speakers and it won't interfere because I do it for radio. So I'll try that.
Okay, cool. I can do that.
'Cause, yeah, I would love to have him listen. I know he could drum. He's got rhythm.
Hell yeah.
So I'm like, dude, like you're sitting there watching. I mean,
All right, so check this out.
yep.
So I was trying to fix something with the beams. So real quick, what is this called? What is this thing? What do we
I
call
don't know. The beam.
The beam, exactly.
Okay, that's the beam.
The
yeah.
beam. Now, if there is no beam and I'm just writing a note by itself, then I have to use a flag.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So this is what an eighth note looks like. In this case, it's an eighth note triplet, but it's still an eighth note. And I would rather write them with a beam, but the program just for today, for some reason, is giving me a hard time. So it's making it stay as an eighth note. Do you see this? How this is an eighth note with the flag?
Yep. Yes.
Now, why is this showing as a
That's weird.
quarter
That's
note?
weird to me.
But something's up with it now that I'm looking at it. It's showing this to me as a quarter note. I don't see the rest anywhere. Why did it do that? I didn't ask it to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to actually go back and listen to this like everyone else because I already forgot that count for the swing.
Yeah.
One in, two.
Here, look at it here. 1, 2, let 3, 4. Let 1, 2, let 3, 4.
One. So let 1, 2, let 3, 4. Let 1, 2,
Good.
let 3, 4.
Ah.
Okay, I gotta remember let.
Yeah, and you'll be fine. You're gonna have no problem with this. So real quick, you keep on doing let 1, which
Okay.
is cool because it means that you understand that it's a group of twos. Like it has this nice group of two feel, even though it's, the let and then the 1 on the other side of it. Let me hear you just do one measure of it, which is like kind of tricky.
Just on the right or the high?
Yeah, but just one measure of the pattern. You can't do let 1. You have to start on the 1.
Okay. I'm trying to just let me process that. So not okay. So it'd be one. So 1, 2. Wait a second.
Yep, you do it.
1, 2, let 3, 4, let 1, 2, let 3, 4.
Ah.
So I would count it 1, 1. Wait. 1, 2, let 3, 4, let 1, 2, let 3, 4.
Okay, so that is correct. And I'll play it again for you real quick here so you can hear it a little more clearly. It's very smooth. Let 3, 4, let 1, 2, let 3, 4, let 1. The swing is that little extra little hop, ba-da, is the swing.
Okay.
It almost feels like it's swinging from left to right. Ba-da, 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 right?
So so when you said start at 1,
Yeah.
not the let, that's the thing that's throwing me off. But I would normally start it with just 1, 2, let 3, 4. Then I'd go to the let 1, 2, let 3, 4.
Ah.
That's
So
what threw me off.
what was interesting is that for the last couple times that you did it, you weren't starting on the 1, and I let you do it. I let you sort of like make this mistake because it's helpful in the end. But
Okay.
you weren't starting on the 1. You were starting on the let. You were going. It's very interesting. You were going like this: let 1, 2, let 3, 4, let 1. Your brain was processing the beat from the note right before it, which is very cool. You're going like, oh, but I have to go into the 1. Let 1, 2, let
Yeah,
3,
yeah.
4, let 1. So that's great that your brain just went like, oh, I know what this is about. But you still have to have that skill, and I'm just making sure that you have it, which is when the beat starts and the song's about to start, unless that's part of the song, you have to start on the 1, not on the let right before it. 1, 2, let 3, 4, let 1. You know what I mean? It starts on
Alright,
the 1.
so because it start because that would there'd be so I gotta be very conscious to go 1, 2,
Yes.
let 3, 4, let 1, 2. Let's start on the 1, 2.
Right,
let
that was
3,
it.
4, 1, 2. Okay, and then okay. So
Now, last-
1, 2. Okay, sorry.
Last thing, and then I'll let you go here. I love that we
Yes.
just had like a whole swing lesson, a whole triple.
I know. I hope I'm not throwing you off teaching. 'Cause
Dude,
all over the place.
this is all good. You know why? You're one of the students, you're one of those students that you bring me the material that you want to work on and I help you process it. I have students that don't want to bring me material, they want me to give the material to them. and they learn that way.
And both are good. Both are.
Both are great.
is good.
There's more variations than just the two. There's all kinds of people out there and all kinds of ways that people want to be taught and want to learn. So
Okay.
I sort of adapt. So you like, I had no idea we were going to do swing today, but
I didn't either, to be honest.
right. And so let's do real quick so we can track that whole lesson. It's very cool. It started with you doing a free jam that was delicious. It was like a gift from the drum gods for my
Thank
ears.
you so much.
Okay, and it was all anchored on that kick, which shows me that yes, it does show that you're practicing, and you've really locked in on the importance of that foot, the importance of tempo. Like all these things sort of revealed themselves, and clearly what's been going on with you playing drums these last like month or whatever.
Yeah.
It really has all started to make sense. And what you were playing on the toms and everything, you had no idea what the rhythms were or what like how to count them or anything. It was all just a feel thing.
It was, yes.
Okay, so the inner drummer has fucking burst out because everything you were doing was mathematically well, you made like little mistakes here and there, but everything you were going for was mathematically correct. You were playing perfect triplets by accident because
Wow.
you weren't trying to play triplets. You were feeling a pattern
Mhm.
that us professors would count as triplets. You didn't give a shit about that. You were just fucking jamming,
Yeah.
right?
That was all. Yeah, it was all off the top of my head and just.
Right.
I looked down to my ear. Yeah.
So for me, I go, okay, that was amazing. Let me pluck one thing out of that I can spend an entire lesson on. And for me, it was like, of course, it's got to be those triplets because we haven't talked about those yet.
Yep.
Because one of the things you definitely were doing was like a dot, da 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 da, and those are 16th note triplets. But I'm not going to talk to you about those yet. You were doing 16th note triplets even perfectly, or almost perfectly, and I knew that's what you were going for. You know.
Yes.
And you didn't know that, like, oh, we count those as 16th note triplets. So that was awesome, and that's what really kicked that whole thing off. Because then I'm like, okay, now we have to go to the book. Now we have to talk about the swing.
Yep.
You know. Okay.
That's so awesome. So you just want me practicing what I've been practicing, and I will. Like I said, my book is ready to go. Terry and I are picking it up today, so I will have I got my music stand now. I got everything.
Good. Heck yeah, dude. All right, so
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
let you go. I'm gonna jump in
Okay.
with my other student here,
Perfect.
and I will send pictures of this ASAP.
Okay, thank you, and I will see you next week. And I'll keep in touch, though, my friend.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Have a good weekend.
Or you too. Take care, brother.
Bye.